Good morning, everyone. Here we are. It is, of course, the Fruit Nut News on, of course, the 2nd of May today. 2nd of May, ladies and gentlemen, 2026. Beautiful morning up in the northeast of England. Not as clear as what it was yesterday, but still rather warm and also, fairly bright as well. So that's interesting. So what have we got? Well, we got the King apparently flying sometime today. I'm not quite sure. Flying back from Gitmo, which is, of course, Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. Interesting enough, was it Trump not trying to get into Cuba or something? Anyway, then there was the Bermuda situation. Now, of course, as you well know, many offshore accounts in Bermuda, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little heads up on that one. Know what I mean? Offshore accounts. Gary Waterman talks about the company's house situation, know what I mean? And of course, yes, offshore accounts in Isle of Man, Bermuda, where else? St. Kitts, what else? Let's have a look. And many other places around the world where you can have an offshore account. So I presume that the King was flying to Bermuda to make sure that his accounts were still full from, of course, NHS taxpayers' money. Very interesting. Yes, of course, it's all good stuff. Meanwhile, of course, Keir Starmer, of course, the mainstream press are now going absolutely nuts about the Jewish attacks. Now, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, it was all about the Muslim attacks. It was all about the attacks on the mosques in the UK. Then, of course, it was all about the attacks on the Pakistanis. Then, of course, it was all about the attacks on the white British men. Then it was, of course, all the attacks on the white British women. Then it was, of course, and now, of course, it's the attacks on the Jewish quarter. Now, as you well know, we've got some very interesting sympathisers of the fact that Israel bombed the shit out of every fucking country that they can fucking think about. Trying to bring about, of course, the new temple, so to speak. Very interesting. Anyway, we'll wait and see on that little one to see happens. And, of course, the mainstream press are talking about attacks this, attacks that, attacks the other. What they're not talking about, of course, is the fact that why aren't the Jewish people up in arms about, of course, the attacks on the Jewish people from the very people that Keir Starmer has allowed into the country to attack the Jews? It's very interesting, isn't it, that nobody is really talking about the situation that Keir Starmer and, of course, the Tories have put the UK in. And remember, of course, what we need to remember is that an attack on people in the UK, irrespective of whether they are English or doesn't make any difference, it is an attack on everybody. And, of course, it just turns out that this attacker just happens to be a Somalian national who is now a British national. That makes quite an interesting story, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll leave that one for now. Take care. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. As you can gather, I'm very busy today. I'll be very busy tomorrow and very busy the day after. Anyway, take care. Love you loads. See you all soon. Cheers. Bye.